What is good, boys? In this video, I'm telling you some things that you can do to absolutely skyrocket your testosterone. These are not going to be any of the basics like sleep 8 hours, eat your protein and healthy fats, because you can search those up on Google, and I'm sure you've heard them a million times. I'm going to be going into some more advanced things tackling the mind that are actually going to really allow you to make a huge difference. So let's go back in time to when I was 15, 16 years old. I was doing all the things. I was sleeping 8 hours, I was going to the gym, I was training more calisthenics at the time, but still healthy, working out, had low body fat, was doing all those things. I never officially got my testosterone levels checked, but I can tell you they probably weren't that high. I didn't have that savage mentality, and then soon I started smoking weed, which made things even worse. I had this docile, complacent, not trying to conquer or attack the world in any way, shape, or form, very much just passively letting life come and go as it does, never going after any of the things that I actually wanted. And this goes into the story. So that was kind of the starting point where I didn't have the things I wanted, didn't have that fire within me to go and get them. I was jerking off every single day, watching porn, doing those destructive habits, sometimes at different phases playing video games. I was never that big into video games, but sometimes if my friends wanted to play, I would. I was kind of just being a degenerate, letting life pass by, doing some of the easy dopamine gratification activities like scrolling on TikTok, doing all these things that weren't getting me anywhere where I wanted to be in life. So now we're gonna fast forward to when I got broken up with at 19 years old. At this point in my life, I was still doing those degenerate activities. I was actually playing video games at this point. I was smoking a lot of weed with my girlfriend at the time. I was just doing a lot of bad things that weren't letting me be successful in any way, shape, or form, and it caused me to get broken up with, be at an all-time low in my life, and that's when I decided to make a change. And this is the savage mentality that I'm going to tell you about that allowed me to have super high testosterone. And when I got it checked a couple months or like 5 months later after that breakup, it was at 900 nanograms per deciliter. So what did I exactly do in this time period that got me so high? Well, first, I cut out all the instant gratification activities. Why is this even important in the first place? Dopamine and testosterone are actually really closely linked. So when you're ramping up your dopamine with all these artificial activities, you have no dopamine left to go and pursue the things you want. You don't have that dopamine to go out and conquer Earth in all different ways and shapes and forms. You can conquer Earth by becoming the absolute best version of yourself in the gym, like really pushing hard, really being a savage, going for that PR. It doesn't even have to be a 1 rep max. It can be, 3 sets of 10. Next time you go on 3 sets of 11, 3 sets of 12. Pushing yourself so much, you're not gonna have that dopamine to do those things and push it into the productive areas when you're using it all up in the instant gratification activities. Cutting out porn alone is gonna give you that savage mentality back. I want you to think about it for a second. Let's compare guy A on the right. This is the average Joe. If you're in this situation right now where you're watching porn, doing all these instant gratification activities, you're average Joe. Versus, let's call it the elite man who doesn't watch porn, doesn't do all the instant gratification activities. He's fully focused on his purpose and his mission. He does delayed gratification. He embraces the suffering of the ice bath, the sauna, the fasting. He does all these things, and he's your competition. Who do you think is gonna win in any sort of competition that these two do? Average Joe versus the elite man. The elite man is gonna crush the average Joe every single time. And this is basically what I just became by cutting all that bullshit out, just being super focused, reading books, developing my mind, meditating, developing awareness, journaling, focusing on the dream life that I want, cutting out all the bullshit, all the access that just fills your mind with garbage that distracts you from your true purpose and mission and allowing you to receive and become the highest version of yourself. These are all things that make a massive difference on your testosterone. I promise you they do. And if you're not with me at this point, if you're like, oh, well, the 8 hours of sleep and working out is more than enough. Supplements, man, we gotta take the right supplements. You're missing out massively because your mind controls a massive portion of your dopamine. It genuinely does. So if you genuinely believe that you're this savage who's going out conquering Earth, you're going after everything that you want, you're going out and you're getting everything, you will have higher testosterone. I promise you. I can't explain it in a scientific way, but in a bro science way, I can promise you that you're gonna have higher testosterone. It's that simple. Your mind makes a lot of the testosterone, and the mentality that you have is super important. If you believe you have high testosterone, if you go out and you go and get all the things that you want, your body's gonna respond accordingly. It's just how it is. It always does this. Your body always responds to what you need. Have you ever heard of, it says like, there's a saying, I just read in one of these books. It says, the amount of time you allocate to something is how long it's gonna take to accomplish that thing. So if you give yourself a day to do something, or if you have an hour till the deadline, you're gonna do it in an hour's time. But if you give yourself weeks, you're gonna let it go across weeks. It's the same thing with testosterone. If you tell your body that you need high testosterone, if you signal to it every single thing that you need this in order to survive, your body's gonna do it. And let's dive into something like NoFap, because this is gonna be an easily relatable and understandable concept to put this into, a frame that makes sense. So let's use one more time, the elite man. He doesn't jerk off, he doesn't watch porn. The only thing he does is he goes out and seeks girls in real life. What do you think he's gonna be doing with his time? He's gonna go out and try and meet girls in real life, go and do things. He's gonna be in the gym building himself up so that he can attract the girls that he wants. If he doesn't get the girl that he meets in person and he doesn't attract them because he's not on the level that he needs to be, he's not high enough value, he's gonna wanna go out and build that value, right? So all these things, it's like that upward spiral. And testosterone, when you win, you increase your testosterone. You're just basically forcing that cycle of winning. That's all you're doing, is you're cutting out the bad, you're replacing it with the good, you're forcing the upward winning spiral, which is gonna increase your testosterone. The more wins you have, the higher testosterone you have, the better your life becomes, and you just start this upward spiral versus the dude, the average Joe. Let's bring him back up. He's there, he's watching porn every day, he's jerking off, he doesn't have anything going for his life, and the most important biological driving factor, which is procreation, this is ingrained into every single human being, he's wasting it on a daily basis. Do you think he's really gonna push for those extra reps in the gym? Do you really think that average Joe is gonna go out of his way to improve himself that much when he gets rejected by a girl he sees in real life? Or do you think he's just gonna revert back to the porn and watch a couple more videos and waste away his life that way? I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you can't see it, I don't know how else to portray it. But these are huge factors on your testosterone. Winning is super important. And the sooner you can start that winning cycle by cutting out the bad and replacing it with the good, really seeing yourself as kind of like that alpha male. You don't have to go around saying you're an alpha male, but kind of just visualizing yourself as the best version of yourself, the version that gets everything he wants, who gets the hottest girl, who goes and talks to the hottest girls, who does all these things. Your body's just gonna respond with the testosterone you need. I promise you. This may seem like an abstract concept if you're not familiar with it. And if you are familiar with it, I'm just reinforcing all the things you already believe and hopefully pushing you further on that path. Because these are very true statements, and this is gonna massively increase your testosterone. This is the difference between 600 and 900, I swear to God. It is so important that you genuinely believe these things and you see yourself as someone who's high testosterone. You go out and you do all the productive things and you reaffirm to yourself that these productive things are helping your testosterone. Your mind is very malleable. I don't know if that's the right word. Your mind is very easily moldable. I don't know the best word for it in this moment, but you can dictate and control your mind to insane degrees. The way that you perceive the world is the way that the world is going to be spit back at you. So if you see yourself as someone who's high testosterone, the world is going to give that back to you. But you genuinely need to believe it, and if you don't believe it yet, you need to do things that are going to allow you to believe it. Does that make sense? Where it's like you can cultivate that level of belief. If you're someone who doesn't have high testosterone now, it's going to be hard for you to, but you need to do the proper habits. Where it's like if you get on NoFap, you're going to start feeling more aggressive. You're going to have more testosterone. It's genuinely going to increase it. And then you're going to do something else that's going to be pushing you to feel even better. You're going to be getting stronger in the gym. And now you're like, holy shit, I'm getting stronger and I feel better. I do have high testosterone. And it's just going to keep building. But you need to start that cycle. It needs to start somewhere. So that's the whole point, is back when I was broken up with, when I just got broken up with, I had to start that cycle somewhere. It didn't just come out of nowhere. And that initial time was, well, it wasn't the hardest, but it can be the hardest part, where it's like building that initial belief. And then once that belief is built, you can just really easily maintain it. And here you can mess it up too, if you go down a degenerate path, which I did myself at one point, and I had to get back on track. So it's really important that you genuinely believe this and you do the important habits to maintain it, and you never quit. You need to stay consistent with it for the rest of your life. It's not like you're just gonna be on NoFap for a week, have high testosterone, and then you're good for life. No, I've messed up plenty of times myself with many different things, not just NoFap, but all these different things that can destroy your testosterone, and I've realized that and had to get back on the right track. So it's really just about becoming the best version of yourself, doing the things that are gonna increase your testosterone. If you think that your testosterone is genetic and that you can't control it at all, that is such a self-limiting belief that you're holding yourself back from so much potential for no reason. Why would you believe something that limits your mind and your body in any way, shape, or form? You're literally limiting yourself by thinking it's genetic. You can 100% control your testosterone. The things that you do are gonna massively influence it. So I could go down a list and tell you like this, that, and the other thing, but as a whole, it's more about just being someone who's a savage, who wants to go out and conquer the world, who wants to go and get these things and is willing to do whatever it takes. And you know the habits that you need to do in order to do those things. We did the average Joe versus the elite man. You can clearly visualize what is the average Joe doing on a daily basis and what is the elite man doing. These are two obvious things that you kind of intrinsically know. I don't need to sit here and tell you, this is what you need to do at 8 a.m., this is what you need to do at 9 a.m. You know what you should be doing, and you know what the best version of yourself would do. You just need to go out and do those things, and now use those as a catalyst to affirm to your mind that you have high testosterone, and your body will respond accordingly, especially once you start gathering some wins. So, boys, I hope you can all have 900 nanogram per deciliter testosterone like myself, or greater. I don't even know what I'm at. I haven't checked it in years, but I know it's super high. And I hope the same for you. So if this video provided you with any value, go ahead and subscribe down below. I'm going to be dropping all of the game I know on how to life max and be the best version of yourself so you can live your dream life. That is all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.